Hello everybody, and today I'm reviewing something very different today. Unexpected, random, but let's review Batman Beyond the movie. Now this ain't actually a movie, it's just the first episode of the show, Rebirth, but it's a really good episode. And I think it's one of the best Batman kind of stories of all time, if I gotta be honest. And if you don't know, Batman Beyond is a show that takes place in the future after Batman the Animated Series. And we see an older Bruce Wayne. He's the mentor towards a new Batman, that being Terry McGinnis. And he fights basically future enemies of Gotham and some of Batman's older rogues gallery. But this is the great starter to Batman Beyond. So it does open with Bruce Wayne, Batman, and he's got a new suit, and he is struggling as Batman because he's just getting too old. It's affecting his health. Like, he kept trying to do it, but all his sidekicks have left him. But this would be considered Batman's last mission as Batman. He would be rescuing a lady who's been kidnapped by gang members at a warehouse, and he would punch a few guys, and then he would look through the window and see the girl's been captured and she's on the news. But then Batman would swoop in, and he tried to take them down, but he gets a heart attack. Well, I think it is a heart attack or something, and he can barely move. He's struggling. And this one guy who knew who Batman was, well, he doesn't know he's Bruce Wayne, but he just, he grew up with Batman. But now he gets to beat him up. But then Bruce Wayne sees a gun, and the last chance to save himself, he points the gun at the man. He's like, "No, don't!" And then he runs away. But he is arrested by the cops, and Bruce is devastated that he almost had to use a gun on a criminal to get away. He did rescue the girl, but Batman is just, he's looking gray, he's got gray hair, he's older, middle-aged probably. And that's where he finally hangs up the cape, and we see on display other Batman costumes, his original suit for the new Batman Adventures, the Robin, Batgirl, and Nightwing. So it looks like Dave retired from this life of crime fighting. It always fascinated me. I always liked the shelves in Batman Beyond where it has the various bat suits. I always thought that was really cool. And I always wondered what happened to them. Where are they? We do know that Barbara Gordon's the commissioner, but we don't know what happened to Dick Grayson. There's a comic that explains what happened to him, but I don't know if it's canon or not. It probably is, but I think that's what happened. And Tim Drake, you already know what happened if you watch Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, which basically explains what happened to him. And I think they were going to do a sequel to that movie, but it didn't. Return of the Joker didn't do well. And I think the sequel is going to have Nightwing in it. But anyway, we were off topic a little, but I think 20 years in the future, we meet Terry McGinnis, and he's already kind of getting himself in a little trouble. He gets into fights at school, and he gets grounded by his dad, and that's where he leads to a fight with him and his dad. Because I think the dad, he's working for a company by a man named Derek Powers, who was later mentioned in the flashback, looking young, a little younger. But apparently he's involved in some scheme with this radiation virus, and his father discovers this, and I think he's going to try to put a stop to it, but that's what leads to, as I'm going to get to that in a minute, but while he's researching, that's where he gets into the fight with Terry, and Terry just is bummed because he has to live with his dad, not with his mom, and he ends up punching a wall, and he tells him he can't control his temper. He says he'll hear all about his fight, and Terry tries to explain himself, but he just didn't. And he just runs out of the house anyway, I guess to pull off some steam or just hang out. And that's where he meets up with his girlfriend, Dana. Yeah, I actually really like his relationship with Dana. It's cute. Like, I definitely felt the chemistry of the two in this show. And it's first start off with this. And they go to some club, but they're outrun by jokers. Well, it's not the actual Joker, it's just people dressed like him. And so they end up grabbing Dana, and they're wrecking the guy Terry got into a fight with. It's a car, and I think the Joker grabs Dana, and Terry pulls her out, and then it gets into this cool goose chase where Terry's on a motorcycle and getting chased by these jokers, and they're flying around the city. But that's where Terry bumps into an older Bruce Wayne, and I like the part where Bruce is like, "Leave him alone and get off my property," and the jokers are like, "We're the jokers," and then Bruce is like, "Sure you are." That's a good line. And then a fight happens. Bruce takes down the jokers with Terry, but it's putting too much pressure on him since he's way older now, and he almost passes out. But he is taken to his house, and it's the same house from the animated series, which is very nice. So that's how we know it's connected. It's crazy. Like, we see Batman in his early 30s or 20s in the animated series, and we see him, like, I'm going to guess he's in his 70s. It's debatable how old he is in it, but we just know he's old. And he ends up passing out on the couch, and Terry decides to leave him, but that's where he sees a little bat. And that's where he discovers the Batcave. And he discovers the costumes, the Batmobile, and a bunch of old relics Batman's had throughout the years. I always wondered how he got those into. He discovers the Batman Beyond costume, and he's about to touch it, but Bruce whacks him with the cane and tells him to get out. He basically discovered his secret. He's Batman. And so, I think what happens next is that's where the tragedy strikes. Terry discovers that his father has been murdered. And you feel the music, like he's actually freaked out that his father might be gone. And he goes up the stairs, and it looks like the Jokers have done this, but they don't know if it's the same gang. And it's revealed, yeah, Terry's dad's been killed. Then a funeral happens, and then Terry blames himself for what happened to his dad. He wished he could have been there, and his biggest regret was he got into a fight with his dad. But then later, he discovers what his father was up to. Apparently, this virus thing was created by Derek Powers. He's very corrupt, and he's going to use this virus on the other people, and it was used on one of Warren McGinnis's employees, and he ends up dying from it. It's just sad. And then I think Terry then goes to Bruce Wayne. He's like he goes with Dana, but she drops him off, and then it's like stormy out, and then he tells Bruce that it messed up his family, basically. That he thinks it's Derek Powers is behind his father's death, and he does show the disc. But he first doesn't open the gate for Terry, but then he does. After Terry's like, "You're no Batman," and then he shows him the disc. They play it, and Bruce is furious that they're using his company to make chemical weapons. And then what happens next is Terry is going to he wants to Batman up and take down Derek, but Bruce is like, "No, I was Batman, but you certainly won't be Batman. Let's do this the simple way. Give this to Commissioner Barbara Gordon." And then Terry's disappointed because he doesn't want to give it to the cops. He actually wants to take down Derek. And so what happens next is Terry ends up stealing the bat suit, but before that he was encountered by Derek Powers. And he was like, "Terry, I know you have something. Like, I might as well talk about Derek Powers. He's actually a really good villain. Like, I don't know, I didn't get to see him too much in the show since there was only so many episodes I watched. But I definitely like his greedy side. Like, it shows that he's a good villain for many reasons. Like, I don't know, he is technically responsible for Terry's father's death, and he wants to do these evil things with the chemicals. Like, it just, yeah, and he does become this radiation man later at the end. But yeah. And so later, Terry does steal the bat suit, and I haven't mentioned Ace yet, Ace the Bat Hound. I'm surprised he's in this show. He's not like where he puts on a cape and mask. No, he's just a pet dog in the house. That's what I always liked. Batman has a lot of pets that, I don't know, it's questionable why he has so many with this bat theme. But for Ace, he's just a house pet, which I like. And so we finally get a glimpse of Terry in the Batman suit, and it looks amazing. The red symbol, doesn't have a cape. He can glide, like he can turn invisible. He can hear people's conversations. And that's what Terry does. He does spy on Derek and his sort of bodyguard, Mr. Fix. And he overhears him basically admitting that he killed Terry's dad because he knew the information about the chemicals that they were going to use on people. And so what Batman Beyond does next, he does get spotted, but he then drops and then glides, and he's taking down soldiers. It's a big fight, but Bruce finally sees what he is doing, and he's going to shut down the costume. And then Bruce is like, "You have no right for that costume." And Terry's like, "I need to stop these guys." And then he's about to die, but Bruce, he turns the costume back on. He basically uses this device. In all the Batman suits, he has a device. If someone steals it, he puts the device where he can shut down the suit, and no one can move in it, paralyzes them. But Bruce has a change of heart, and he does take down the goons, and now he finally finds a way to take down Mr. Fix and Derek. But then Bruce is hesitant, but Terry tells Bruce that he knows what happened to his parents, and then Bruce is like, "Alright, take him down, and good luck." So that's what Terry does. He finally catches up to the ship where Mr. Fix and Derek are at, and where they're going to drop the chemicals in. And I do love the part where Batman gets into a little fight with Mr. Fix, and he's just like, "Oh, you think you're Batman, huh?" And then Terry's like, "I am Batman." And he takes him down. And I think Mr. Fix dies by drowning. Terry ends up falling out of the ship, I'm pretty sure. And then he's basically stopped Derek Powers. But Derek Powers was also infected by the virus during the fight. He accidentally bumped into a bunch of canisters before he was going to go stop Mr. Fix. The chemicals drop on him, and he's affected by this virus. And that's where we're shown at the end, where Derek Powers becomes, I forget his name, what he's called in the show. It's like a radiation man, and the only way to cure this radiation is through extreme sunlight. But that can only last so long. That's what they later explore in the show, where he is struggling to have his human form. Yeah. And it just shows like his skeleton. Like, it's scary. It's actually scary to have this disease, basically. But if you have it too long, where you don't have extreme sunlight, apparently you can actually die from it. Like, that's how that one man died earlier. But things come to an end where Bruce Wayne decides to visit Terry at his house, and he offers to his mom a job for Terry, where he basically becomes his assistant. And Terry's like, sure. And then Bruce is like, "Welcome to my world." I just like how kind Bruce acts in this scene. They shake hands, and that's Batman Beyond. So, this was a really amazing episode. It pokes good at the good aspects of what made Batman Batman. it shows that he doesn't want to kill, but then he almost kills, and that's what causes him to retire. And now he's gonna basically pass on the mantle to Terry, since he wants to bring justice to others ever since what happened to his father. So I give Batman Beyond the movie, or Rebirth, a 10 out of 10. So tell me, what do you think of Batman Beyond? And what do you think of the show overall? So I don't know what the next review will be. It might be a Batman Sub-Zero. So that'd be fun. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.